You know, this is normally where I say, greeting my fellow lovers of tunes and welcome back to another reaction video, but today's not that type of video. Today we are doing something a little bit different. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Now, many of you might know, many of you might not, depending on if I've mentioned this before by the time you subscribed or not, but I'm from South Africa and my home language is Afrikaans. It's not English, and it's always so interesting for me to see people's reaction to different languages and to see how different languages like pronounce certain words and certain things. It's an interesting world to me. So I thought it would be, or might be, quite fun to react to a video today where multiple languages are being compared to each other. You know, like, I think that's what this video is, like, different words, stuff like that, and also to hear the different accents from different people and stuff like that. So we are doing a video called English versus German versus Dutch versus Afrikaans, West Germanic language comparison. Very excited for this one. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through this whole thing, maybe commentate throughout the video, you know, like stop here and there and give my thoughts on it. Maybe throw in a few Afrikaans words. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know really what to expect of this one, but I'm very excited for it. So let's get into it.
One.
Eins.
Ein.
Een.
Two.
Zwei.
Twee.
Twee.
Three.
Drei.
Drie.
Drie.
Four.
Vier.
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 Okay, can I take a moment to just appreciate the fact that they actually got someone that properly speaks the language of Afrikaans. I can't really commentate for anything else because it's not my home language, so I don't want to go into those territories. But something that you guys will probably notice by now is that I believe it's Dutch and Afrikaans are very similar in the way that the words are spelled, firstly, and also the pronunciation is not that far off. Like, we just say things a little bit different, and that's why I mentioned before that we can probably speak to a Dutch person face to face in Afrikaans and they in Dutch, and we would be able to understand each other. I think this has happened to me before in a job that I had, but I'm curious to see about German because I know some of the things get a little bit different in the later stages. Like, I saw a video where they were talking about like an ambulance and stuff like that. I don't know if that's going to be mentioned in here as well, but let's dive into it further.
Five.
Fünf.
Vijf.
Vijf.
Six.
Sechs.
Zes.
Zes.
Seven.
Sieben.
Zeven.
Zeven.
It's interesting to see how similar like the words are, and even when it's like differently spelled, almost the pronunciation still sounds quite the same. And there's a lot of Z's where we have S's, you know, but also the three languages, English, Dutch, and Afrikaans, seems to have a lot of similarities. And there's actually a lot of words in Afrikaans that is even spelled the same way, just pronounced differently.
Eight.
Acht.
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 Nine.
Neun.
Negen.
Negen.
10.
Zehn.
10.
10.
It's like the same thing.
Red.
Rot.
Rood.
Rooi.
Sorry, I know I don't want to pause too much, but the German fella said rot, or I don't know how I pronounce it, and rot or rot. In our language, it's actually like a rat. Like, it's just it sounds quite odd.
Blue.
Blau.
Blauw.
Blauw.
White.
Weiß.
Wit.
Wit.
Green.
Grün.
Groen.
Groen.
It's
Orange.
the same.
Orange.
Oranje.
Orange.
Oranje.
Orange. That's actually, that
Yellow.
sounds French.
Gelb.
Geel.
Geel.
Pink.
Rosa.
Roze.
Pink.
You see,
Black.
that's one of those cases where the English and Afrikaans is quite the same. Like we just removed or added an E to it, and now it's pink as well, just in our language.
Black.
Schwarz.
Zwart.
Swart.
It sounds so odd. We have such a like similarity between German
Apple.
and Dutch.
Apfel.
Appel.
Appel.
Like a few words sound like more German,
Banana.
others Dutch.
Banane.
Banaan.
Pisang.
Banana, banane, banan, and then Afrikaans, pisang. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it.
Pineapple.
Ananas.
Ananas.
Pineapple.
Wait, the ananas? I've never heard that before. So here again is a prime example where English and Afrikaans very similar. We just spelled differently. But ananas, I didn't know that is what it was called. I'll be honest. Someone mentioned that to me. I would have no idea what it was.
Pineapple.
Milk.
Milch.
Melk.
Melk.
Bread.
Brood.
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 Sausage.
Wurst.
Worst.
Wors.
This is one of those things that I remember when I was watching movies like American television and stuff like that. People would always be like sausage, and I'm like, wait, I don't understand. What is that? Because once again, like we know it as Wors, they have Worst. So we three sound very similar. Like I would understand mostly what that is, but it took me a while when I was younger to understand that sausage was actually our Wors.
Pumpkin.
Kürbis.
Pompoen.
Pampoen.
Kürbis? Kürbis?
Cheese.
Käse.
Kaas.
Kaas.
Okay.
Coffee.
Kaffee.
Koffie.
Koffie.
Another interesting thing is, I don't know if it's spelled the same, but café, or we say café, is actually like a cafe. So it probably makes sense now that I'm thinking about it, because cafe serving coffee. I'm getting off track. In any case, let's go on. Animals. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting.
Dog.
Hund.
Hond.
Hond.
Yeah. I have
Cat.
3 honden.
Katze.
Kat.
Kat.
Cow.
Kuh.
Koe.
Koei.
Afrikaans just adding an
Horse.
extra vowel there.
Pferd.
Paard.
Paard.
Bear.
Beer.
Beer.
Bier.
That's not
Shark.
bad.
Hai.
Haai.
Haai.
Tiger.
Tiger.
Has anyone noticed that in Afrikaans, even if it's the exact same spelling and pronunciation of a certain word, like between Dutch and Afrikaans, we have to express our vowels like very loudly. Like it's the same with this one we just had, the high and the high. Let me just get back to that. Wait,
Tiger. Beer.
Bier.
that's too far.
Shark.
Yeah.
Hai.
So listen to her.
Haai.
Hi.
Haai.
Hi. Like, and it's so funny. We used to have, or a lot of the older people, maybe the previous generations, they had this thing of where you really rounded off a lot of things that you were saying, like hi and bye, funny cry. It's so funny to hear it, especially compared
Tiger.
to like a situation
Tiger.
like this.
Tijger.
Tier.
Lion.
Löwe.
Leeuw.
Leeuw.
Love.
Giraffe.
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 Kameelpaard.
Like, come on. 3 languages getting it almost exactly right. Giraffe, I can't remember how he pronounced it, but basically everything sounds similar. And then Afrikaans, kameelperd. Now, the funny thing about it is kameel and perd is actually like two animals, like a camel and a horse, kameelperd. And we decided to stick those two together. So imagine yourself a camel and a horse being together, and that is our giraffe. It makes no sense, but that's how we know it.
Elephant.
Elefant.
Olifant.
Olifant.
That's all sort of normal. I like this music.
Bicycle.
Fahrrad.
Fiets.
Fiets.
Fahrrad. What the hell is a Fahrrad?
Motorcycle.
Motorrad.
Motorfiets.
Motorfiets.
That makes sense.
Airplane.
Flugzeug.
Vliegtuig.
Vliegtuig.
Tractor.
Traktor.
Tractor.
Trekker.
Boat.
Boot.
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 That is such an amazing thing to hear. We have 3 exact same samples of a word, and it's pronounced so differently. That is crazy to think. Like, if you saw this word being a Dutch or German or Afrikaans speaker somewhere, you would have your own way of pronouncing it, and it sounds so different, and yet it's the same thing. That is incredible.
Train.
Zug.
Trein.
Trein.
Zug. Okay. Like, there's a few of these German words that are quite different, you know, that's like far out different.
Hello.
Hallo.
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 Hello. Hello.
Do you speak English?
Sprichst du Englisch?
Spreek je Engels?
Praat jij Engels?
Yes, I speak English.
Ja, ich spreche Englisch.
Ja, ik spreek Engels.
Ja, ek praat Engels.
What is your favorite color?
Was ist deine Lieblingsfarbe?
Wat is je lievelingskleur?
Wat is jou gunsteling kleur?
That makes sense, actually.
My favorite color is blue.
Meine Lieblingsfarbe ist blau.
Mijn lievelingskleur is blauw.
My gunsteling kleur is blou.
Do you have any siblings?
Hast du Geschwister?
Heb je broers of zussen?
Het jy broers en susters?
Now, that is an interesting one. In English, it's siblings, and then basically in all 3 of the other languages, it's geschwister, zussen, and sister. Broers and sisters, well, basically in Dutch and Afrikaans, it's like split into broers and sisters, or brothers and sisters. Now, I'm just trying to think, do we not have a word for siblings? I guess the closest would be familie. Yeah, I think. I might be wrong. If there's any South Africans, help me on that. I think that's the closest one. But then if you use the word family or familie, which is family, in that way, then it doesn't make sense for the rest of it. So that's probably the closest it's going to get, I guess. I don't know.
I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Ich habe 2 Brüder und eine Schwester.
Ik heb 2 broers en 1 zus.
Ek het 2 broers en 1 suster.
See, that is why the Dutch and Afrikaans, it's
How
like
old are you?
quite similar.
Wie alt bist du?
Hoe oud ben je?
Hoe oud is jy?
I am 30 years old.
Ich bin 30 Jahre alt.
Ik ben 30 jaar oud.
Ek is 30 jaar oud.
I just realized something. Upon recording this, a few weeks ago was my birthday, and I'm actually 30 years old now. How coincidental that is the age they're using. But yeah, ek is 30
Where
jaar
do you
oud.
work?
Wo arbeitest du?
Waar werk je?
Waar werk jy?
I work at the hospital.
Ich arbeite im Krankenhaus.
Ik werk in het
That's-
ziekenhuis.
Ek werk by die hospitaal.
That Krankenhaus, I've heard that one before, and the first time I heard it, I was like, wait,
Bye.
what?
Tschüss.
Tot ziens.
Tot ziens.
That Krankenhaus one is absolutely incredible. Like, it really is. Let me just switch over to the other cam. You know, it's so interesting to watch these people do their thing, talk about their languages. You know, there's so much similarity between Dutch and Afrikaans. Like, honestly, even if there are certain words that we don't use in our language, you can really understand what someone is trying to say if you just listen to the sentence properly. You can probably come to the conclusion of what it is. And it's so interesting to see how these languages all have sometimes words that are very similar but sounds absolutely completely differently, like not even remotely the same. And then also, how can I say this? The fact that sometimes then, whether it's us or Dutch or German or English, someone sometimes has a word that is so far out that it just sounds absolutely insane. Like, how does that even make sense? Like our Kameelpad and German's Krankenhaus. I remember seeing that little video, I think it was on TikTok or something like that, where they were doing the comparisons of the languages, and I think German was one of them, and Afrikaans, and I can't remember, I think it was French and English, and they were talking about an ambulance, and it's like ambulance and ambulance, and then ours is ambulance, and then theirs is like Krankenwagen, and then, or... Yeah, Krankenhaus, I'm talking about hospital. Ambulance was the one that was Krankenwagen. It is so funny to hear. But even with German as well, if you really concentrate, you can almost make out what those people are saying as well, which is absolutely incredible. And sometimes just by the way that someone is talking to you, or the emotion they were saying it in, or something, or the way that their body is carrying over the message, is absolutely just the key to understanding them. It is fantastic. Now, I would just like to take the opportunity quickly to read you guys a few of the comments on this video. It just had me smiling. It's like, Dutch and Afrikaans are twins. German is the biological brother and English is the adopted. Like, come on. But that is kind of true, though. Between German and Dutch, you get Afrikaans almost, like, most times. I might be wrong. Please don't come at me at the comments of that. Another person saying, so satisfying to hear someone speaking Afrikaans properly in these videos. Yeah, that is true, because I've seen a lot of them that the people, they sound like Charlize Theron trying to speak Afrikaans, or saying that she's Afrikaans, and it's not really working out as nicely. It's incredible. It's such a fun little video. There's a lot of these comments. You can go and check it out as well. It's quite funny. But I think this is quite a fun video. It's interesting to learn the similarities and differences between languages that are considered to be so close together yet so far apart. And interesting enough, the reason why for a second I caught on where the Lieblingskrafte, I can't remember what that word was, is my channel's name is Lieben Toten, and that is German. Lieben meaning love, and Toten meaning death, and like a wild translation of that is the love of death. But long story on why that is the channel name, but that is the channel name. It's German, yet I'm Afrikaans, South African. It's amazing. And I've spoken to a lot of Dutch people where I remember, I think I was working at the car rental agency where international guests arrived. We had guests speaking Dutch, and I was speaking English to them, obviously, because that's the universal language we trade in here. And they were speaking English to me as well. But as soon as they stopped speaking to me and the family, they would speak in their own language. And I thought to myself, let me try something. And I started speaking Afrikaans. And he looked at me quite strange for a second. And he's like, oh, wait, you speak Afrikaans? And I'm like, yes. So we did this kind of experiment where we had a conversation. He did it in his language and I did it in mine. And we could fully like communicate. There were some things you were like, oh, don't know what you mean, but for the most of it, we could actually have a full conversation. It was so fun to see. But in any case, I'm going to leave this video here. It's going on way too long now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you learned a few things, maybe not. Maybe it was just entertaining to watch. I find it entertaining seeing people speak these different languages and stuff like that. But let me know down below if we should do maybe more of this, or maybe some different things, and maybe see some different languages from other cultures. It's always fantastic to see that and react to stuff like that. So let me know down below. But in any case, ek gaan hierdie video hier los en ek sien julle in die volgende ene. Onthou, musiek is medisyne. That's a little bit Afrikaans for you.